Iran is a good friend of Pakistan. The historical relationships, cultural relationships date back many centuries, and the Pakistani government has especially been very helpful in the last month, trying to mediate, trying to find solutions to make sure that this war does not continue. We can tell you good luck. Omanis were trying to do that. We had the Omani foreign minister going to Washington actually right before the start of the war. I don't know if you saw the interview of the Omani foreign minister with CBS News. He said that an agreement was available within 24 hours, his words. And he said that Iran was available to give concessions this time that Iran could not give in 2015. And the Trump administration ignored that opportunity and attacked Iran about 24 hours after that interview. We had Jake Sullivan, the former national security advisor of the United States, saying that Kushner and Witkoff did not understand the offer that Iran was presenting to the United States because I guess they were not competent enough. Witkoff was a real estate man. Kushner is a husband and has some businesses. But Iran tried very much to make sure that a war does not happen. The United States was not interested in reaching a political solution, and they say that they want to change Iran's government, which is understandable. If you want to change a government, you would not enter a political solution with the government that you want to change. They have failed. They are not going to be able to change Iran's government. Trump single-handedly has managed to unite Iranians more than any Iranian politician could ever do, and the country will continue to live. As you know, the civilization, like the civilization in Pakistan, is quite old, thousands of years, and we have seen invaders, aggressors come and go, and Iran will continue to live. So why, this was my introduction. Why is this introduction important? Because if it was not for this reckless war, this unnecessary war, you would not be having this conference today. Before 40 days ago, 2 months ago, Strait of Hormuz was very peaceful. Ships were coming and going without any difficulties. And the reason we are having this conference is because of Trump and Netanyahu, because they started this war. So the hope that I have is that as you continue with the conference, that very important fact that we are sitting here today because of these illegal actions it should not be forgotten. And why is it illegal? As you know, under UN Charter, Pakistan, as was correctly said, is a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council. If you want to attack a country under UN Charter, you need to go to the Security Council, get a UN resolution, put that country under Article 43 of Chapter 7 of the Charter, and then you can use force. Otherwise, it is illegal to use force against other countries. It's illegal to threat, or Article 2.4 says threat or use of force. So not only use of force is illegal, threatening other countries is illegal. Threatening to blow up bridges and electricity grids, that's a war crime. And yesterday when they asked Trump, why isn't it a war crime to attack Iran's bridges and electricity grids? He said, no, and I'm quoting Trump, he said that no, because they're animals. So he's calling Iranians animals, and this is what colonizers generally do. Pakistan remembers British colonialism. They generally have to dehumanize the subjects they want to colonize. And they're dehumanizing Iranians. We have lost more than 2,000 civilians already. 9,000 sorties, according to the U.S. Secretary of War, has been conducted against Iran, hitting civilian places. On the first day, we lost 165 little girls. We are dealing with the Epstein class. They like to kill little Iranian girls and rape little American girls. And this is the unfortunate situation that we have. So Iran is fighting for Iran. Iran is fighting for Pakistan. If United States is able to achieve its goals with Israel, one of the goals is creating hegemony in the Middle East. They have talked about greater Israel. Netanyahu has done that. The U.S. ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, has done that. They want to dominate. A couple of months ago, we had Prime Minister of India going to Israel, and I don't think that was a coincidence. I think Israel and India are planning things for upcoming months, and we know that Americans and Israelis don't like powerful Muslim countries, and I think one reason Pakistan is very much interested in ending this war is because they realize that U.S. and Israel should not be able to just continue with the rampage that they have started. So let me end this introduction, and let me just go back to some articles in the UN Convention on Law of Seas, because you're focusing on that. As you know, under the Convention on Law of Seas, the territorial waters of coastal countries is 12 miles. And so this is the first concept we have to, it's very much the part of discussion today. The Strait of Hormuz falls within the territorial waters of Iran and Oman. Why? Because Iranian territorial waters are 12 miles. Omani territorial waters are 12 miles. 12 plus 12 is 24. And Strait of Hormuz is 21 miles. So Strait of Hormuz is not in international waters. And it's the decision of Iran and Oman, it's the decision of these two countries to create a mechanism, a regime for governing a Strait of Hormuz. And as you know, both countries are talking to come up with that regime. The second article that I think is of importance in Convention on Law of Seas is Article 17. It talks about passage, but the very important word before passage is innocent passage. So ships can pass through, but the passage should be innocent. Article 17 of the Convention on Law of Seas. And in Article 19, it defines what it means what it means by the word innocent. It means that the security of the coastal states should not be threatened by the ship that is passing through. And it says good order. And we are happy to have that word in that convention, because good order could be defined in many ways. So when you are attacking a coastal state, killing more than 2,000 civilians, you are threatening the security of that state. It would be foolish for Iranians to allow ships from hostile countries to pass through. And if Iran stops those ships, that is following the conventional law of seas, because United States cannot engage in this type of illegal behavior against Iran and expect American ships to be able to pass through. So Iranian officials have said that we'll shoot at your ships, and they have been doing that. We have some countries like Turkey, and I think this was mentioned by the previous speaker, that have leveled, they call it transit fees. So if you go to Google, you type Turkey transit fees, you'll find a lot of news items because they increased the fees by 15% just a few months ago. Turkey is not a member is not a party to Convention on Law of Seas. Iran is not a party to Convention of Law of Seas. US is not a party to Convention of Law of Seas, neither is Israel. So a lot of people in Iran have been asking that if Turkey can level quote unquote transit fees on ships passing, and they do it by ton. So every ton of cargo, they have an amount that they charge. So we have a lot of people in Iran saying that if Turkey can do that, why can't Iran do it? Now, we have some countries that are members of Convention of Law of Seas, but they still generate revenue from the straits that they have access to. For example, Australia, Strait of Hormuz. They don't call it transit fee, they call it pilotage fee. So the fee is there, but the terminology is different because of their membership with the Convention on Law of Seas. Denmark does the same thing. Canada does the same thing. So we have a lot of calls in Iran that, given the fact that Iran has suffered billions of dollars of damage, we have had a lot of civilian facilities destroyed, more than 250 hospitals, schools, bridges, civilian factories. Who is going to pay for all this damages? So in Iran, parliament members, other politicians, ordinary citizens, they know that US is not paying. US actually wants to charge a toll. Yesterday they asked Trump in his press conference, would you level, would it be okay for Iran to level a toll on the Strait of Hormuz? And he said, no, because we won the war, we are going to charge toll on the Strait of Hormuz. So if US, which is 11,000 kilometers away from the Strait of Hormuz, the Iranians are asking this. If they can level a toll on the Strait of Hormuz, why can't Iran, as a coastal state, in Convention on Law of Seas, there's this terminology, coastal states. There is a place for these states. They're not just watching ships pass by. Why can't Iran do the same? And as you know, in the Iranian parliament, they're coming up with a law to make sure that this is done properly, legally, with the cooperation of Oman. And I think this is what will happen. Iran needs to be compensated for all these damages. And Iran is going to level a toll. Now, they may not call it a toll. They may call it pilotage fee, or they may come up with some other terminology on ships of unfriendly countries. The countries that provided bases to the United States, American ships. And that's how they're going to get their money back to fix all these damages that Trump and Netanyahu have done. And they're going to come up with mechanism to make sure countries like Pakistan, China has been a friend of Iran. Other countries are not affected negatively, because maintaining good relations with these countries is, of course, important for Iran. And this law is being written as we speak. And the Strait of Hormuz is not. We have ships passing through. We had a number of Pakistani flagged ships pass through. We had a French ship carrying fertilizers that passed through. So when French had a choice between fertilizers and Trump, they chose fertilizers. And we had Japanese passing through, other countries passing through. But I don't think we will go back to the situation that we had before. Iran will adjust its power to regulate, to make sure that friendly countries can use the Strait of Hormuz without any difficulties, and countries that are causing difficulties for Iran, they are going to basically pay for all the damages that they have done.